What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. I hope everyone had a great weekend. We're back here on NBA 2K25 here for another rebuild, and today we're going to be talking about some recent news that of course just happened. So the Memphis Grizzlies have decided to fire Taylor Jenkins when there's the playoffs right around the corner. There's not many games left in the regular season. It's very interesting territory, honestly. You usually don't see things like this happen. There obviously is reasons for it, so let's go ahead, jump in, and do a Memphis Grizzlies rebuild after they have fired Taylor Jenkins in 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me about 56% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. If you do fall in that 56%, want to change that, that would be greatly appreciated as we're on the road to 50,000 subs. So, like I said, very unfamiliar to see a team make a decision like this where they fire Taylor Jenkins and they move on to someone else when the playoffs are right around the corner. There was a recent scuffle on the sideline, though, so there's speculation that he may have lost the locker room. Maybe they're going to fire him anyway eventually. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's definitely interesting, to say the least. So, with that, obviously there was earlier rumors earlier in the season about Ja Morant being the next guy who's going to be traded, the next superstar. And I did a video on that, and I believe that's the last Grizzlies rebuild I've done, honestly. So we're going to do, of course, is still make the rest of the season. I don't think we're going to be trading Ja Morant in this one. I think we're going to keep him. But there's definitely a lot to like here. We obviously have Bane, Jalen Wells, Jaren Jackson, Zach Edey. So this is a good roster. Now, unfortunately, this team usually sucks in 2K, which is the disappointing part. They're usually like really bad. Like, it's kind of weird how bad they are. So we're going to see how it goes. Maybe we have to make a tough decision today, because that's usually what happens when I do Grizzlies rebuilds. But let's still make the rest of the season with Taylor Jenkins gone, and we'll see how things finish out. Jay wins MVP, Stephon Castle Rookie of the Year, Pritchard's your sixth man, Dyson Daniels Defensive Player, Christian Brown Most Improved, Trae Young Clutch Player, and Mark is your Coach of the Year, and John Murphy is your Executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third team, All-Defensive first team, and All-Defensive second team, as we get Jaren Jackson making it here, which is nice, and All-Rookie first team, and All-Rookie second team with Zach Edey also making it. And then is Jalen Wells on one of these? No, he's not. Okay. So, or yes, he was. I saw his name there at the last second, but I saw him. Player stats. We're the 7th seed, by the way. So we got 22 from Jaren Jackson, 22 from Ja Morant, 18.5 from Bane, 12 from Adama, 10 from Jalen Wells, 9.5 from Pippen, and 9 and 8 from Zach Edey. So, of course, going into this, we're going to shrink this down to a 9-man rotation rather than playing 11 deep, because you want to, shorten the rotations in the playoffs. So this is what it's going to look like. So we're going to be leaving Bagley, Gigi Jackson, and Vince Williams on the rotation, which I feel a little bit bad about, because I know Gigi Jackson can develop really nicely. But I guess if that's what 2K thinks is best, then I guess we'll listen. So we play the Clippers in round 1 of the play-in, so we'll see if we could beat them to avoid missing the playoffs entirely, because that would obviously be pretty rough, because that would really make a lot of things question, or Grizzlies fans would definitely question why the hell they fired their head coach if they're going to miss playoffs. But we did make it. So we're in, and we are playing Denver in round 1. So how far will we go against Denver will be the question, but it will be answered right now. So let's see. Game 1 goes to us, so good start. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3 goes to them. Game 4, 3-1, and we're gonna lose to the Nuggets in 5. So clearly a lot more work for us to do before we are a set in stone contender. And again, when it comes to Grizzlies rebuilds, from what I've noticed, and just in general doing rebuilds and seeing the Grizzlies always selling or rebuilding because they suck for whatever reason, I know we have potentially a interesting challenge ahead of us. It sounds like the Grizzlies shouldn't be a challenging rebuild, but it is for whatever reason. So LeBron's trying to call it a career, but the rest of these guys can retire. And for the lottery, I believe our pick is going to the Wizards this offseason from the Marcus Smart trade at pick 23. So staff signing, we'll keep the new guy around for now. If we suck next year, then maybe we make a decision there. But for draft night, we don't, or I guess we have 2 seconds, which is nice. Don't know if there's any trades I plan on making right now. I honestly think I want to keep the Bane, Jackson, Morant core right now. But I think in the future, if it's not clicking well, then maybe we make another decision there. But we'll see how it all unfolds. So I'm going to let the assistant GM take care of those second-round picks as we walk away LeBron and Kwame Evans, so we can sign both of them. No player options. And then we have Aldama, Cam Spencer, all as free agents, so we can extend the qualifying offer on Aldama, but I don't know if I'll bring him back, because I'm pretty sure he asked for quite a bit of money. So for free agency, bird rights, Aldama, yeah, he's asking for 18 million. I don't know if I can get there with him. What did he average last year? 12 points, 36% from 3. he just doesn't really develop anything in 2K to where I feel comfortable paying him $18 million. I think there's just way too much. Kennard, obviously, has been one of the shooters the Grizzlies have had for quite some time, but let's look at it. So, Pippen and John Morant, obviously, point guard rotation, to me, feels great to have that. Conchar, who's on a interesting contract, not really bringing much to the table. So, probably would look to move on from him if possible. Vince Williams, Jalen Wells, of course, we like that. Gigi Jackson, who's listed at power forward, so we could probably move him to the 3. And I bet honestly, we could probably move Vince Williams to the 2, Gigi Jackson to the 3, and then we can, figure out how to address maybe a different backup center. Because Brandon Clark is fine, but we could find a better, or we could even find a starting center if we think Zach Edey could be the bench center, which I think would probably be better anyway. So I think that's where I want to start. I think if we could find a way to get a center to start over Zach Edey, I think that'd be a great start this rebuild. I think that'd be the best way to go about it. And then we can evaluate from there. If we're bad again next year, then maybe there's another problem. So assuming we're under the second apron right now, I don't believe the Grizzlies are a second apron roster. So yeah, with it going up, I think we're right under it right now. And I think if we renounce Aldama, I think we'd be under it even more if I'm not mistaken. So let's see if we renounced him right now, or I guess it would be under cap hold. Sorry. So if there's no intention of bringing Aldama back for as much as he's asking, or especially Bagley too, so we can pretty much renounce most of these. Kennard we can renounce too, and Aldama. So that should put us well under the second apron, I believe. I believe that yeah. So well under it, so we can definitely aggregate contracts. So let's go see if there is some kind of center we could trade for to get a starting upgrade there over Zach Edey. So when it comes to the Grizzlies roster, I'm always thinking about how it feels like they're only like one move away from being like legitimately taken seriously, which is why I think a lot of people thought a Jim Butler trade could be interesting for them. So I'm going to try something pretty outlandish. Is there a possible way we could get to Embiid's salary? I don't know if we could. It would probably be tough without trading one of our big 3. But I'm going to see anyway, just for the hell of it. And if it doesn't work out, some other options, like obviously there's Jarrett Allen, but there's Zubac from the Clippers. We eliminated from the play. Or they might have made it in after we beat them in the play. And Okongwu exists too. Like there's some other options that of course we're all very aware of. But I'm going to start with trying to go all in with Embiid. Again, I don't even know if we could get to his salary. Probably couldn't if I had to guess. So Brandon Clark, yeah, it'd probably be tough without trading Jaren Jackson, which I ideally wanted to kind of pair them together, but I just don't think that's going to be possible. Like, I don't even know why I thought this would be possible. I guess Zach Edey would have to probably be in the trade too. 24 million away, and we're not even close. So yeah, we'd have to trade Jaren Jackson, which would be a pretty big risk. Or you could trade Desmond Bane in theory as well, if you really thought. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I could get there. It would be crazy to make the move for Embiid, but I think it'd be a really bad time to try to make that move if you're the Grizzlies. So don't think that's the most wise decision, I guess, per se. So other options, of course, come down to like there's Robert Williams, there's Jarrett Allen. It's the same basic centers. It feels like I'm always in search for a center. It feels like I'm trading for the same ones, but that's what you got across the league. So there's Zubac, who I think would be interesting. I even thought about Sabonis, but I do question the spacing if we traded for Sabonis. I mean, he shot 39% from 3 last year, though. And obviously, there's rumors about Sabonis seeking clarity from Sacramento. Jaren Jackson can make up for his deficiencies on defense. So it's interesting to think about. Like, I don't know. Could we make something happen for Sabonis? I would try to keep Zach Edey out of it. But again, we might run into a salary issue again where it wouldn't be worth trading one of our big 3. So I can't get there either. So we're going to have to find someone cheaper. But those were 2 options I was kind of thinking about. But probably not going to be easy to pull off. So let's just go to the last guy I was considering, and that's Okongwu. So Okongwu with 12 points, 8 rebounds last year. Could definitely be a nice centerpiece with Zach Edey going forward. I feel like they would, match their, I don't know. I just feel like I'd like them as my center rotation, I guess. So I'm going to try to keep this fairly, where I'm not giving up too much. So Brandon Clark, Jay Huff, and let's say we're giving up our 2028 first for Okongwu. Would the Hawks sign up for something like this? No, they think they're a contender right now, which, they usually do end up doing good, but they agree. So all you have to do is include one of our seconds. We have Okongwu. So Okongwu is our brand new addition at center, and I think that's the major addition we're going to make this offseason. I think we're going to leave it at that. I'm also going to sign someone to free agency, but I think I'm going to sign a power forward, and we're going to leave it at that. So Yabusele Achua, Kendrick Williams, Champagnie, Trenton Wofford. Champagnie, who averaged, sign me up for that. So we can give Champagnie a nice deal on a very very cheap contract too. So yeah, sign me up for that. So we'll do that, and that's our big trade this offseason. That's it. So we literally only bring in Okongwu. We'll see how that all unfolds, and the rest of the guys will come back. So Jackson and Bane regress. We have Champagny down, which is fine. But GG Jackson right now is listed at a 79 power forward. Moving to 3, he goes only up 1. I thought he'd go up like 2 to 3, but no. Only up 1, but still. I think I want to leave him at small forward. So we'll go look at the rotation all together, though, when we get into the season for season number 2. And we'll see if the Grizzlies stigma still exists. Does this team just suck in the 2K sim? We're about to find out. So here is a rotation going into next season. It's going to be John Morant, Desmond Bane, Jalen Wells, Jaren Jackson, Okongwu, Zach E, GG Jackson, Scottie Pippen, and Champagny as your rotation, which leaves Conchar out and Vince Williams out. But we can run 10-man, so Vince Williams gets some run in the regular season. Shot tendencies, obviously John Morant needs to score. Jaren Jackson's Banes, they're all pretty high, which is great. And then GG Jackson as our 6-man candidate. I don't hate that. So I'm going to leave those all the same. I just want to see how it goes. Like I said, I have a theory that the Grizzlies just aren't a good team in the 2K simulation, but I'm willing to allow 2K to tell me I'm wrong. But if we end up missing the playoffs, aren't good, then there's definitely something that exists there. But we'll see how it goes. Right now, we're decent, but I'm hoping to get on a top 4 seed type of thing this season. So we'll see if that's what ends up happening. So at the end of the season, Shea wins MVP, Cooper Flag, Rookie of the Year in Philadelphia. Okay, Josh Giddey's your 6-man, Giannis Offensive Player, Reece Shea Most Improved, and Tatum's a Clutch Player, and Chris Finch is your Coach of the Year. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, John Morant, and All-NBA third team, All-Defensive first team, and All-Defensive second team, Jaren Jackson, All-Defensive second team. So, yeah, by the way, guys, we missed the playoffs. So it started promising, but it just faded away towards the end of the simulation. 37-45, missed out, and we didn't make it. So we're not even in, like, 9 games under, or 8 games under 500, which is pretty interesting. Like I said, it doesn't make a lot of sense in my personal opinion. If you have a healthy Grizzlies roster, I think they're at least good enough to make the playoffs. Stats would tell you the same thing, but for whatever reason, just not the truth, I guess, according to 2K. I'm not sure, but that's what happened. So we're not in the playoffs, which is really unfortunate. So let's go ahead and simulate, and I think tough decisions will have to be made this offseason. And usually, I believe when this happens, I usually trade Jaren Jackson, but I think we might trade Desmond Bane instead, just to try to change it up a little bit. So let's go to the lottery. We got San Antonio via Atlanta, Thunder via Utah, Knicks via Washington. The 2 picks I always have to fix, obviously. Staff signing, I mean, we could, in theory, fire a head coach, which I guess I will, because missing the playoffs is kind of, inexcusable, in my opinion. It'd be funny if we brought Taylor Jenkins back, but I'm going to go for Joe Mazzulla to start things off. And then let's try, I guess, Will Hardy as well. And then we can also try, I mean, there was Doug Christie. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Head coaching again. Okay, Kenny Atkinson's here too, which I totally glossed over. Okay, so let's try those 3. So Will Hardy is the only one that looks like it'll accept our offer. So I guess Will Hardy will be the guy we bring in. Okay, for draft night, I got to fix those 2 picks. And then we will see what a Desmond Bane trade might bring back, because I don't know, it sucks, man. Like, I don't know why this team wouldn't click, but it just doesn't. So I feel like we got to make some type of change, and I guess it's going to be Desmond Bane, although I hate to do it because he's shooting 42% from 3, 21 points per game. Not sure, but we'll see if we like anything we find in the trade finder. I won't lie to you guys. This trade that first popped up is tempting. Joel Embiid does wash himself out in 2K, though, which is my only concern. So if I did do this trade, I would have to put Joel Embiid's peak end age all the way up, just because, it just would be pretty brutal to watch him just regress like crazy. But a Bane for Embiid swap is risky business, especially in real life if the Grizzlies did that. But Embiid is Embiid. When he's healthy, we know how good he is, but that's the problem. When he's healthy is always the big asterisk. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the Embiid trade. So we're going to trade Bane and an unprotected 2027 for Embiid, unless if we could do something different in this trade instead of our first, because we obviously traded a first already earlier. What if we threw Champagny in here instead? They want a unprotected, and they'll give me Chris Boucher. No, thank you. Wait, can I just get to where... Wait, let's do Conchar instead, maybe? And then let's say we did 2 early seconds. Now they want 2 first. And then we get a Dembona. No, we can't do that. Okay. So maybe we just go back to the Riddler's trade. We're only trading one first. I mean, that's not bad for getting Embiid, right? Kwame Evans won't sign, I guess, for whatever reason. Okay. Pippen, no. Champagne, no. Williams. I mean, I could throw Williams in here, I guess. He didn't really do much for us last year. So would this get it done? They do. Okay. So we get Embiid. So let's go ahead and change that right now because I don't want Embiid. A washed up Embiid, or this trade becomes really stupid. So I'm going to push this peak end age up, and I'm showing you guys that I'm doing that because I legitimately don't care. And then I am going to have Morant, Embiid, and Jaren Jackson be our big three next year. And then that makes Okongwu a little bit more, less redundant. So we probably need to move him now. Gigi Jackson might get an opportunity to start next year too. So that should be, or I guess Jalen Wells is here too. But we could find a way to start both of them maybe. That'd be cool. We'll see. It all depends what Okongwu nets us in return. We don't have a draft pick anymore, so let's just go to player options. And the biggest thing is now to resign Jaren Jackson, obviously. So Gigi Jackson, Edie will be accepted. And then Jaren Jackson, we'll go grab him as well. So he has 3 offers. None of them are legitimate. So we could wait till the last day to make him as cheap as possible. But I think, risking him getting a good offer could be pretty, risky. So he doesn't have any legitimate offers, so I'm just going to give him a deal. Let's just give him a deal. 40 million flat doesn't sound too bad if we can get him for that. And he will sign that probably. So yeah, Jaren Jackson will be making $40 million a year. Not bad. I'll take that. So that gives us and a little bit more money left to spend in free agency too if we wanted to. All right, so now we have Morant, Pippen, no shooting guard anymore, but that might mean we move people. Champagne, Jaren Jackson, and then obviously Okongwu, Zach Edey. Obviously, Zach Edey's on the rookie contract, and he's going to probably get better than Okongwu overall-wise. So I think Okongwu needs to be traded now. So we did give up quite a bit to get him, but his morale is upset as well for whatever reason. But he can move on then. So let's trade Okongwu, and we'll see what he gets us back in return. This one kind of intrigues me. Getting Cam Whitmore off the Rockets. Not someone I trade for very often, but he's got an extension kicking in, so he does cost a little bit of money, more money after this, but obviously we'd be fine with paying him. Kamara would obviously be great too. Wouldn't hate that. But I think I'm going to do the trade with Houston. We get Cam Whitmore. So we're going to get Cam Whitmore and a first for Okongwu. So Cam Whitmore is now a Memphis Grizzly. So now we have a pretty interesting roster, and we just need to sign a backup shooting guard. Preferably a shooter, obviously, if possible. AJ Lawson, what did he do last year? He shot, if I can find it. There it is. 38% from 3, but very low volume. Banton. Melton, I guess, would be fine. 37% from 3. And he's a former Grizzly, too. So, yeah, sign me up. So, Anthony Melton on a 1-year deal to be our backup 2 guard next year. That sounds fine. Okay, so we took the big risk by trading for Embiid, and we'll see how it pays off. So, those guys will be back, too. So Embiid did not regress, which is what I wanted. Didn't want him to regress. Edey's up to an 86, Wells 83, and Cam Whitmore is an 83 as well. So this will be interesting. A Ja Morant and Embiid duo with Jaren Jackson still here and Bane gone. So that changes things up. We also have a new head coach. Look at the rotation before we go into year 3, but obviously we hope things will turn around because missing the playoffs is inexcusable for this team. The Power Ranking lists us at 6, so they seem to think we're going to be a good team, so I hope that's what happens. So let's see. Here is your rotation. Morant, Whitmore, Jalen Wells, Jaren Jackson, Embiid, Zach Edey, Gigi Jackson, Scottie Pippen, and Champagne. Looks pretty good to me. We can go 10 rotation again for the regular season. Let's just simulate through the first 10 games and see what our record is. So far, we're under 500. So again, I just don't know what it is with the Grizzlies. So let's see. What are the stats looking like right now? So we have 22 from Morant. Is Embiid shot tendency just down maybe? No. Okay, that even concerns me even more. It's a 99 shot tendency. He's averaging 88. Okay. Or, sorry, averaging 88. He's averaging, what was he? I don't know. Or I guess Whitmore's is pretty high too. So we can maybe bring Whitmore's down quite a bit. Probably has something to do with it. We'll do that. Something like that. And we're going to hope things turn around because if they don't, then there's definitely trouble afoot. Evil afoot, like SpongeBob once said. But all right. Don't know why I said that. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3, I think. So Luka Doncic is your MVP. And I remember why I hate doing Grizzlies rebuilds, man. They're just so infuriating. I don't know what it is about this team, but there's just never anything that good that comes from it. You get Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson to represent as many All-NBA teams you could possibly want. But the team is always just mid. I don't know why. But here were your player stats. You had 24 from Morant, 19 and 9 from Embiid, 15 from Jaren Jackson, 13 from Gigi Jackson, 13 from Whitmore, 9 from Pippen, 7.5 from Edie, and then 7 from Melton, and 6 from Jalen Wells. So, which by the way, Jalen Wells, for whatever reason, is all pissed off. I've never really had that happen before, so I don't know why he's down to an 81 overall after he was just like an 84 or something. So, yeah, he's like down 3 regressions for whatever reason. I don't think I've ever really seen that. It's usually the morale effects, and I usually don't play with those on anyway. So, not really sure what's going on there, but we're in the play-in again, so hopefully we can beat Denver. They beat us in a series earlier, so we'll have to see if we can't beat them in the play-in to get into the playoffs. So, Embiid versus Jokic, assuming they still have Jokic anyway, which I believe they do. And we will have a close one here, but we will lose. Okay, so we lose at the very end of it. All right, well, let's see if we're even able to get in past the Pelicans to the Rockets. We get Houston, who we obviously made the trade with Okongwu being involved. Let's see if we can't beat the Rockets to get into the actual playoffs. And honestly, I'm going to get a little frustrated if we miss the playoffs here. Another close game lost where we just missed the playoffs entirely. Very weird, man. I have no idea. I just legitimately don't understand why the Grizzlies are so bad in the 2K sim. Kyrie Irving is your Finals MVP for the Mavericks. So what more can I do, though? I mean, this is a pretty good team. I guess Jalen Wells was really bad. I don't know why. It says clearly this isn't a good fit, and he's all mad about something. That probably hurt us, obviously, a little bit. So that was interesting. So let's just go to player options, and let's see what we can do here. So on player options, we got Edie Champagny, Jalen Wells, who was mad, and now he's annoyed for whatever reason. Relations. Is relations a new thing? I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Maybe I'm just now noticing it. I'm not sure. Gigi Jackson, Spencer. I'm gonna re-sign Gigi Jackson. Is relations like a new feature? It probably isn't. Like 2K doesn't update my NBA, right? Like they don't do that. So why would that be a new feature? I probably have something on, or just maybe I never noticed it. Not sure, but whatever it may be, it clearly didn't go our way last year. So I don't know. Do I run it back, or do I trade Embiid before he regresses or something? So do we make another big trade? So we could bring Desmond Bane and Grimes in, which would be pretty funny. Jaylen Brown is interesting, but Peyton Pritchard and John Morant, I don't really like the idea of that. Neither with Trae Young. LaMelo, no. Kessler Markkanen's interesting. Thomas, Gordon, Siakam, Murray, Asar, and Duran, Şengün and Brooks, Booker. Embiid for Booker straight up, where we have a John Morant and Booker backcourt. But then we have Zach Edey starting a center. So, I mean, we still have a center. I mean, it's an idea. I don't know if it's much different from when we had Desmond Bane, though, right? I don't know. I guess we can try it. What's the worst that can happen? So let's trade for Devin Booker. So we're going to be sitting Joel Embiid. Although, is this really realistic at this point? Like, the 76ers trading Embiid isn't, like, unrealistic. But the Suns trading Booker for Embiid, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think I actually can get behind that realistically. So, I don't know, man. It's tough. So we'll probably have to keep Embiid, which is fine. We traded for him. Let's lie in the decision that we made. And he wasn't necessarily bad last year either. But let's go to shooting guards. And I see Isaiah Joe, and I'm definitely down for that. So Isaiah Joe, pretty incredible addition to have, as I punched the mic on accident. That's just how pissed I am right now. But let's go to player progression. So, I mean, do we have to trade Jalen Wells, or is there a relations thing that I'm not aware of that I have on that I usually don't? Because I've never usually seen guys regress that much. But Gigi Jackson is awaiting. I mean, I don't know. If I traded Jalen Wells, what would I get for him? He's only making $2 million. So it's not like there's going to be a lot of guys making this much money that are going to be worth trading for. So don't really think I have a lot of options here. Kyle Filipowski, I guess. But there's Caleb Wilson. But we trade Isaiah Joe, who we just brought in. Missy. We don't need another 5. We're good on that. Asa Newell. Kaishawn George, I guess. But I don't know. Is there really much different? Jalen Wells shot 39% from 3. So as long as he just doesn't get mad, he's a great fit with what we're trying to do. I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to go probably this last season and hope that we make the playoffs at least. Like, I would love to end this video with a playoff run and hope that we can finally see some damn success. So Jokic in a Warriors uniform wins MVP. Stokes is your Rookie of the Year. Murray's your 6th man win Defensive Player. Caleb Wilson most improved. And Chet's your Clutch Player. And Chris Finch is your Coach of the Year. And Executive goes to the New Orleans coach as well, or New Orleans Executive. So New Orleans had a really good season, obviously, as you can see. So here's your LB first team. All-NBA second team, and All-NBA third team. So looks like we may not have gotten any Grizzlies representatives on All-NBA teams, which actually I'm totally okay with, because we actually ended up just making the playoffs finally as a top 3 seed. So I'll trade not any All-NBA representatives, or I'll trade All-NBA representatives for a playoff spot, because we had 25 from Morant, 23 and 10 from Embiid, 16 from Jaren Jackson, 15 from Gigi Jackson, 15 from Whitmore, 9.5 from Jalen Wells, 8 from Pippen, 7 and 10 from Zach Edey. So I feel like this is exactly the kind of roster you'd want for a playoff run, but will it go well? We've obviously been in the playoffs earlier. This time we're the 2nd seed, and I think we get to deal with Jokic again. We've dealt with him a few times already in this video. We have Jimmy Butler still too. Let's just, let's show Jimmy Butler why he should have came to Memphis when he was asking for a trade. But so far, this is going horribly wrong. We're down 3-0. So we went up this month. We just had that good of a regular season just to get swept by the Golden State Warriors. So unless we come down from 3-0, which would be cool, but I wouldn't want it to be this dramatic for us to win a playoff series in this video. I'm hoping we at least win. I'm hoping we get back in the series, but we're not going to. So 106-99. So, oh my God, dude. That's just so brutal. I think we got to go one more time. I have to hope that we don't run into Jokic for a 3rd or 4th time in a row or whatever it is, but I think we got to run it back again. I don't want to end it on that note. That sounds disgusting to end it on. No playoff series victories in this one, and we're going to end it on that. Don't know if I can get behind that, honestly. So I'm going to try one more time. One last shot. I'm going to fire Will Hardy as well, even though it may not be his fault, but he's gone. So give me Mike Malone, maybe. Give me Fernandez or something. Jordy Fernandez. I'll even take him. Give me somebody better than what I've dealt with so far. Or Ime Udoka. One of them, please. So Fernandez accepts us, which, whatever. Not really my preferred choice, but we'll take him. So let's go to player options, and we'll see. So we got Embiid accepting, which is fine. I wanted to bring him back for another year anyway. And Pippen and Edey. So we'll bring those guys back. They'll be, and then John Morant's a free agent too. Actually, all of our players are free agents basically. So bring Champagnie. I'll bring, well, I guess John Morant's unrestricted, so we should probably throw him an offer. The Suns are trying all in on him, so we will throw a no trade clause at him to bring him back. Hopefully, we're still gonna get him back. Wells is unrestricted too, which will bring him in for a lot of money. So there's gonna be a lot of money spent, but I want to run it back with the same team because we had the regular season success. We've kept running into, oh, we're over the hard cap now. Damn. Okay, we might be in trouble. So Pippen probably can't bring in if I had to guess now. So let's see. Maybe we have to wait for. We probably have to hope Zach Edey comes back in his qualifying offer probably, and that will be our last chance to do anything. Because damn, this team got expensive fast because of how much Gigi Jackson got paid and Jalen Wells got paid. But Zach Edey should be back in his qualifying offer, and he is. Okay, so yeah, but this is easily our last chance, like because of how bad this or how expensive this team is. This is all we got. So regardless of what happens next year, last chance, no matter how you slice it. So if we get eliminated in round 1 again, it's over. And we'll just put it in the bed that the Grizzlies are the most disrespected team in 2K history, I guess, or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just that trash. So the line is now set at 0.5 playoff series victories today in the video. Will we go over? Well, we have one last shot to find out, or to, I guess, go over, I should say. But 21 and 10 from Embiid, 23 from Morant, 17 from Jaren Jackson, 16 from Whitmore, 15 from Gigi Jackson, 9 from Jalen Wells, 7 from Isaiah Joe, and 7 and 10 from Zach Edey. So, will we finally win a playoff series? We finally don't have to deal with Jokic, so that's good. But we could deal with a 95 VJ Edgecombe and a 93 Cameron Boozer. So, we'll see how this goes. So many current round, and we finally did it. Wow. Okay. We finally won a damn playoff series. The over has hit, and we're, wow, we get to play, okay. Now we get to play a 95 Castle, a 95 Age DeBanza, a 99 Victor Wembanyama, Asa Newell. So this should be fun, but I'm prepared for the challenge. So game 1, go San Antonio. Game 2, we even it up. We blow them out in game 2. Damn, they only dropped 69 points. 2-1, 2-2, saw that coming. 3-2 goes to us, beat them in 6. Yes, okay, wow, okay. Finally made it far with the Grizzlies for once. So we get to play the Pelicans now. We'll have Demon, Zion, Koa. I feel like that Spurs team was way more intimidating, so we'll see. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. 2-1. Don't let him even it up. 3-1. Let's go. Don't blow a 3-1 lead. Don't do it. We went in 6. Okay. So now I get to play the Hornets who have Micah. I have no idea who that is. Never heard that name in my life. But he is their Conference Finals MVP. Melo Ball, Micah, Brandon Miller, Micah Marison from Duke. Is he like, am I a casual right now? Am I showing my casualness from college basketball? I have not really watched much March Madness like I was supposed to. Yeah, he's been in the league for a while, so maybe he's on their team right now in the Final Four. I know they obviously won yesterday, but whoop! Oh, I didn't mean to click somebody around, but it worked out. Okay, we win. Let's go. We're gonna end it there. John Morant is your Finals MVP. Grizzlies beat the Hornets in 4. I don't know why it took so damn long for this to be successful, but I will take it. So I'll end it on that I'll end it on that note. Thank y'all for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.